Hi, and welcome to High Technology.
In this broadcasting, what we will be speaking about is bringing the dimensions from within you to this dimension. As in what I mean by that, as in bringing the things from your inner self, right, now to your mind in order to experience this type of reality. I want you to understand that when it comes to this reality, that there are certain things that you have seen. There are certain characters that you have seen. There are certain worldly events that you have seen. And what I would say to you is that the lower things that you have seen from lower dimensions, they are nothing more than life experiences that you can learn from. But they are not life experiences that you should internalize for yourself. What do I mean internalize? As in, if you went through a bad experience, understand that
The experience that you went through is not internal within you. What I'm saying is, you went through an experience, right? You realized that it wasn't a bad experience. Okay. At the same time, what I would ask you is this. Would you repeat the same experiences that were repeated on you onto someone else if you know that the experience is wrong? You would probably say no. But most people will repeat it. And they don't realize that when you repeat an experience that should not happen, that you should learn from, you are nothing more than programming your own mind in order to do those things repeatedly.
let me show you what do I mean. When you repeat something that is demonic against yourself first, what you have to realize is that you generated the thought. Okay? When you generated that thought, you knew that that thought was not going to be beneficial to you. You knew that that thought will actually throw someone else's reality off. But I want you to understand something. In the process of you trying to hurt someone, right? Understand that the things that you are doing to that individual, you are recording yourself. As in your eyes, they don't look. They always analyze and record the data of what you are doing.
And the data of what you were doing, yourself is recording it and now sending that same data now back to your mind in order for you to repeat it over and over and over. The reason why you would repeat it is because you are in control of your mind. And understand that the things that you repeat on others that are low vibrational things will be repeated on you because you are the one recording yourself doing this. So that means that you would have a memory bank of you repeating those same low vibrational things to yourself. A lot of individuals think that they're doing it to someone else. It doesn't really work like that. It works simply as this. When you do low vibrational things, all you are doing is altering your reality in order to put yourself, your mind,
inside of a reality that is false, that is not real, to put you in a reality of pain, misery, heartache, because that is what you are forecasting on yourself first. A lot of individuals believe that they're forecasting it on others. It doesn't work like that. It looked like you are forecasting on others because we are trained to think that the other being that we're seeing is someone else, and not looking at it from the dimension of I am me and they are me. Which means when you tell your mind that I am me and they are me, you treat them as such as yourself. And then you understand that there's no need to really treat someone less than if you have seen yourself within them.
It don't matter if they were a lower self or a higher self. It's based on how you see yourself. Because, let's just really put this on the table here. We all started out as lower selves. We all came from the darkness. And that's where it starts from. Understand that. And now we transfer to the light. But understand that the darkness is not what you think it is. The darkness tells the truth. The light is the one that exposes the truth. And what do I mean by that? As in, the darkness is giving you the mindset, the true programming of you. And you taking that knowledge from within the darkness of you and now bringing it to the light. That's what I mean. Understand that both work with each other. It's like yin and yang. They have to coexist. And darkness is not what you think it is. Darkness is intelligence. Understand that. And it's the intelligence of self. It is the darkness of self. Okay? Understand that. So, let me add on a little bit more things to this when it comes to you as the being as who you are, in order to change the dimensions that you see on the outside of you. Because in this world, we are taught that the dimension that's on the outside of us is the only dimension that exists. But technically, this is what I would say to you. This is a third dimension. For what? The bodies to exist within. But there are dimensions located within you. Understand that. When I say there are dimensions located within you, as in the dimension of your mind.
The direction of where your mind is going. Dimension, direction, all refers to the same thing. I just love to use higher words. That way you can have a higher understanding. That's about it. But it's simply like this. When you tell someone, or you tell yourself, I want to go into the direction of the left, right? Let's just say the direction of the left is life. That's the dimension that you are going into. Understand that. When you are saying, I want to go to the direction of the right, and the right consists of nothing but death, what you have to understand is that you don't want to be a part of the death. Understand that. As in, you watch the death, you evaluate it, right? And as you look, which is
analyzing and recording with the death experiences of what others are going through, and not internalizing that type of data for yourself, and looking at it as in it's an experience for that individual, and that you can learn from the experience of someone taking themselves through death, as in analyzing, recording the data of what they went through, and now saying to yourself, this is not something I will want for myself. This is not something that I will repeat for my life. Do you know why? Because the life experience of what they went through was their life experience, so they say, right? But when they went through that life experience, it put them in the dimension
of death. You are the one that actually realized that they are within a dimension of death. You're the one that realized that, hey, this is not something that I would want to do for myself. Then I want you to realize this. Then you must have the power, right, in order to see the truth for what it is. And if you can see the truth for what it is, then the truth that you got from that individual by watching their life experience is the truth that you should use on yourself. Because I want you to understand, the individual that you was watching in reality, their own dimension, their dimension of self. But what you were watching was the dimension of a lower self. And you kind of realized that, hey, I don't want to put this dimension within me, but I can definitely learn something from it. I can remember a lot of things from it, but I definitely don't
want to become it. This is why I say to people all the time, anyone can learn from anyone. Don't matter what the intelligence is. You can learn from them. It doesn't matter if they have a low intelligence, right? That means that if you have a high intelligence, as you watch the lower intelligence, you come to realize like, hey, this is not something I would want to be. You understand? And I'm not judging people. I'm only here to give you a message and for you to understand yourself in order to raise yourself as high as you can be. Because just think about it. And I'm not picking on no one. There are 80% of people that choose to be low, right? So that means that majority of people get to watch people be low versus watching people be high. And what I mean by that, as in having a higher conscious, a higher intelligence of self, not of the world. Because the world on the outside of you has been programmed to be a lie. And what do I mean the world? As in the world that plays within people. The outside is nothing more than a planet. And the planet has never done anything wrong to anyone. But the worlds that play within people, depending on what type of dimension that their minds are located in, can be a casualty towards themselves. Understand that? So, when it comes to changing the dimension of your mind, right? I want you to understand more and give you more clarity on that. So I want you to listen up real good, okay?
put your listening ears on. What I want to show you is this. When I speak and break down the body, I like to break down the body as in like technology. Because this vessel consists as biotech, if you know yourself. Now let me break certain things down to you that is actually great about this technology that we are sometimes unaware of. I want you to understand that when it comes to this reality, that you're in control of your own dimensions. And what do I mean by that? As in this. You know how you go through a life experience of things were going down, right? We all have went through that experience. But I want you to understand something that what people do sometimes. When you are going through an experience where life may be going down, the experience is only to show you, right? This is the direction that you don't need to be going to. See, even when life go down, it's still a teacher to you. So you can recognize and say, hey, this is not something that I want for myself. Great. But let me show you something about the technology of this vessel and how powerful it is. When you're in the process of changing, right, your dimension of, how can I say, light, because this would be a dimension of light, right? One of the main things that people should realize is that you have to go within yourself first. Understand your vessel as a pyramid of information, okay? Some people say a temple. I like to say pyramid of information. Understand that? And what I mean as in going within yourself, as originally, right? When you close your eyes, there is no more light that appears. There is nothing more than just the darkness within you. So you have to understand that you have to go within yourself. You have to go within the darkness of yourself. You have to grant yourself access from self in order to bring the information of self now to this reality. What do I simply mean by that? As simply as this. When you close your eyes and you're within yourself, you speak to yourself. Do you realize as you speak to yourself, you're implanting information, right? Within inside your own mind, within inside your own pyramid. When you plant that information within your pyramid, it is now within you. This is something that you want to experience. It is now within the information of your mind. When you speak, your words are heard. Your words are heard by you first. When you speak, the vibration of your words now travel within your ears. As the information now travel in your ears, the information is now saved within inside your mind, the pyramid of your mind. So, if you requested yourself to live a balanced life, if you requested yourself to live an understanding of self, then as you implant the information within your mind by using the vibration of your voice, the information that you requested is now implanted in the mind. The information that you requested and now implanted within the mind is now saved within the mind. So now the information is within you. The information came from darkness. Right. Now, when you open your eyes, you, the one that is within lights, that knows the intelligence, the one that implanted the intelligence from the darkness, now has to bring that reality from darkness now to light. As in, I will use as an example, I will use myself. Let's just say I was 300 pounds. I would be 300 pounds, right? And I would be unhealthy. I would be unhappy with myself. It has nothing to do with anyone else besides me and my decisions of what I made. Now understand this. When it came to me eating, right? The things that I were eating, right? The information of what I was eating, that information was destroying me. But understand that the information of what I was eating was destroying me. But understand this, the action of what I was doing, right, was destroying me. Understand that. Things that we do can destroy us if we don't have our full vision on us. Understand that. Putting your vision on you and understanding what you are doing. We sometimes do things and we don't stop to think about what we do. We're just sometimes on autopilot and we're just doing it and not thinking about what we're doing. And when you think about what you're doing, right, you get an understanding of what you are doing. Okay? So, I'm going to add on to it a little bit more.
If I was doing that, right, with 300 pounds on me, then I would come to realize the minute that I say I need to stop eating foods that I'm allowing to destroy me. Understand that you are the one that allowed things to destroy you. Understand that you are the one, right, that either bring in high vibrational information in order to uplift your life. Understand that. That's why I say you are the controller of your dimension. It's not the individuals that's on the outside of you that are trying to program your mind in order to make your mind do things for them. Always listen to the inner voice of you, because you, your inner voice, give off the commandments to the mind in order to operate the mind and bend the mind to the will of you. Understand that. Your mind was only designed for you. Your mind was not designed for others. Your mind was designed for you to program it. Your mind was never designed for others to program you. Do you know why? Do you know why? The reason why I say that is because when you are programming yourself, you do not lose yourself, because it's you programming you. Understand that? That means that the things that you want, the things that you receive, right, are all natural about you. That is you programming you. So being that you are programming you, you can never lose who you are. You should think about that. Now listen, for other people in the world, I'm not judging them, but for other people in the world, what happens is simply is this. They listen to others, and when they listen to others, those others are not connected with themselves, okay? Which means that when you listen to others that have nothing to do with you, they can be giving you information, right, to inform your mind, the pyramid of your mind, in order to change your reality of your dimension of the direction of where you're going at. See, let me say this. If someone gave you information, right, you ask a question, they give you the information. This is the question I would ask you. Is the information true? Because if the information is artificial, then you're going to lead yourself, right, along with your mind, along with the dimension of yourself, into a dimension of untruthfulness. Just think about that. And then, if the information is true, right, you can use that information for yourself in order to keep the dimension, the direction of where you're going at in a dimension of truthfulness. Understand that. Understand that dimensions are on the inside of people's minds. The bodies reside within the third dimension. Yes, but you know how you can say, you can talk to someone and you would say to them, they sound very delusional. That is true. But being delusional means that their minds are located somewhere else in another lower dimension. It's not within a higher dimension. Because when you are speaking to someone and they're present, they can let you know what is going on in the now. They can let you know what happened in the past. And sometimes it gets so great, they can let you know what's going on in the future. Because when it comes to the dimensions, understand this for yourself is this. When it comes to dimensions, right? Think about a dimension like this. You got the past dimension, right? You got the present dimension, and you got the future dimension. Those are all three dimensions that can be all playing at one time. That is true. But let me ask you a question. For you, which dimension would you select? Which one? I'm going to be honest with you. I would select all three. The reason why I say I select all three is because the past, right?
It's a past dimension of myself that I can learn and reflect from and say, hey, this is not the things that I should do to myself. It's like you saying the 10 Commandments. Well, my 10 Commandments would be for me is not doing the past things that I did to myself. You understand that? Which means that you get more than 10 commandments. Get that one? It's all great. Now, the dimension of being present, right? So I'm coming out of the dimension of being in the past, and now I am being in the present. When you're in a dimension of present, right, you realize that this is the present moment. Okay, I have certain decisions that I want to make. Decisions, right, can also refer to dimensions. Decisions can also refer to the direction of where you're going. When you make a decision, right, it can be a decision to either make you go up or make you go down. So, if you're in a present moment and you know about the things of your past, then that means within the present moment, you should not repeat your past. Let me show you. When you have a past, right, we all make mistakes. That would be a past. But let me show you the difference. When you know something about yourself, right, and you know that you should not be doing certain things, and you repeatedly keep doing it, it is no more of a mistake no more. You're now changing it and being, how can I say this in simple terms, you're doing it on purpose. Now remember what I told you. The things that you do that are low, right, understand that when you repeat it, your eyes is analyzing what you are doing. Your eyes are recording what you are doing. Everything that you do in your existence consists of data. Understand that. And as you record yourself, that experience is now being sent to your mind again. So you repeatedly keep doing it. Understand that. So understand this as well. When you are in that present moment, you now want to give your mind, your pyramid of your mind, new information What is that new information? The new information is the new experiences that you load up. As in simply as this. Remember I was telling you about the experience of me, let's say I was 300 pounds. Then that means that in that present moment, I have a decision to go back in the past to eat the Snickers, or in that present moment, I have a choice to go eat something that has nutrients, which would be fruits. Understand that the information within the Snickers is nothing more than, how can I say, fats. It's not information for the body to produce intelligence, as in this. When you eat something that comes down to be artificial, as in, let's say, candy, understand that the artificial ingredients are artificial intelligence for your mind. Understand that, along with your body. Understand that when it comes to the information that your body's receiving, understand that your stomach was never a stomach, okay? Your stomach was nothing more than an information receiver, because you're putting information within you in order for your stomach, which is your information processor, information receiver, to receive the information. Now, your information processor that you call a stomach is now doing what? Processing, breaking down the information. When that information is now being broken down, that information is now being sent within inside the vessel, within the mind. Now understand this. If you were feeding yourself produce, right, the information within that produce, understand that it's going to uplift the information within you. It's going to upgrade the technology of your mind. It's going to upgrade the reality of you, because you know why? You gave yourself new information. Okay. Now you have to act on that information. When you have new information located in the mind, based on the produce of what you just received, right? That information is enlightening the mind in order to give you the action. Now you can see the reality. Understand that you have to be informed first. Understand? It takes you to inform yourself of what you want. Okay? Once you inform the mind, okay, now you have to step out of the mind, and now with you, self. Now once you're within self, you have to put forth the action. When you put forth action, right, you are changing the dimension of your reality. Let's just say the dimension of your reality was that at one point in time, you kept seeing individuals that were lower selves, and you did not want to see that anymore, because you have remembered and learned a lot from it of what you will not become. Now, you said to yourself, I don't want to see this no more. I want to now see higher selves that are just like me. That means that you were repairing yourself in order to receive this moment. As in, you stopped doing past things, right? Now you're doing things from where? You're in the present moment, you're doing things from the future. Understand that. You're in the present moment. The present moment has the opportunity to do things from the past or to do things from the future. Understand that. You probably thinking you in the present, but when you think about this, when you are giving yourself new information, right, to the pyramid of your mind, you're not even in the present no more. You're technically in the future. Because only the future is going to lead yourself to the future. That's it. Now, once you come into the present moment, then now you take the information that came from the future, and now you use that information within the present moment in order to speed your consciousness up, in order to speed you up along with your soul, in order for you to be within the future. Understand that. So like I was saying before, when it comes to the dimensions, it's many a different one of them. But you have present, past, and future. And they're all dimensions of information, of self. Now understand that you have access to all three. Okay? Always realize that your past self will technically be the book, one of the books of self, of what you should not do. Understand that. It's a lot of things you can learn from your past. And so many things you can learn from your past that you'll be like, yeah, bro, I'm be honest with you, I really don't even need to fall down no more. Because in the past, you have fell down enough. And you should realize from your own downfalls that you can make those downfalls uplifting. That's what you could do because you're the one that identified what it was. You're the one that said, I do not want to go through this again. So what I would tell you as simply as this, do not put yourself through it again. You're greater than what you think you are. Understand that. All right? So I'm going to simply say this. When it comes to the dimension of self, always understand that self, right, has to show self brand new things in order to have brand new experiences. You have to show yourself that. As in, if your environment is not the environment that you want it to be, you have to go within yourself in order to change you to get yourself away from that environment. Understand that? And sometime in this world, we want to change certain environments. We do. And you have the opportunity to change it. But I want you to understand this. Do those individuals, right, want the same thing that you want? And if they're not leading themselves into that higher dimension, then it is okay for you to depart from that dimension and put yourself in a higher dimension where you reside at. Understand that when it comes to caring, you should always care for yourself first. You should always build up the care, right, within you. That is from a higher dimension. Individuals have been caring about other people, and those other people don't even care about themselves. Pay attention to the world. Pay attention to the world that's within the people. As you pay attention to what they do, I don't judge them for what they do. But I can learn from what they do. And what I see that a lot of people do is that they destroy themselves and they're unaware of it. So I remember not to destroy myself in order to not to destroy others that are not trying to destroy me. Understand that? So what I simply say to you is that get in a repeated action of changing the dimensions of self, as in you've seen the dimension from your past self of what you don't, right? Now you are in that present moment, which is another dimension. And I will simply ask you, are you going to program yourself to do things from the past that you already know about? That's not a brand new experience. You already done it before. So I will simply say to you, right, is that reprogram your mind with new experiences, with new things that you haven't done yet. Reprogram yourself with experiences that you think you couldn't do. But being that you received the information from whatever information source that you got it from, and you knew it was true, then now apply that information to your mind. Instill it within your mind. Now act upon it. Because it's a 3-step process when it comes to changing dimensions. Okay? You have to put that intel within the mind, the pyramid. Understand that? Once the information is here, you are informed. Because information gets saved and stored within the mind. Understand that? That's why you're able to remember certain things, because it's in here. Once that information is already stored within the mind, what's the sense in you not act upon it? You said you wanted to change the dimension of yourself. Well, if you have the information, you now have to act. Once you act upon the information of what you are received, right? Now you activate that dimension, right, of where you wanted to go at. You said you wanted to see your higher self around other higher selves, and that's great. You stored that information up here. So now you are looking at yourself, right, and preparing yourself to be your higher self. Understand that? Understand that there's an energy change that's being swapped out. So from your past self, right, from low energy, you now leave that alone. And now you're changing yourself into a higher energy source. Understand that as you get yourself prepared, be patient. Okay? There's nothing that you need to rush in your reality. There's nothing that you need to look outside yourself and to say, this is a part of me. It's not. Only you are a part of you. And understand that. And you should value yourself. Okay? Because when you value yourself, right, others can see that you value yourself. And so they have no choice but to value you. And if they don't value you, they have no choice but to get away from you. Understand that you're the controller of your own dimension. What you project is what you receive. What you do not project is what you don't receive. The things that you don't want to receive, you say them out loud to yourself in order to inform the mind, this is not what I want to see. This is not what I want to become. This is not me. So, you inform the mind that's what it is. Well, guess what? Now you got to put in that action. Now, once you put in the action, that activates the dimension, right, within this reality. Understand that with yourself, that you're in control of your own reality. You're in control of your own dimension. Understand that others are not in the same dimension with you. Other individuals are located in a dimension that they call the third dimension, and a lot of people are located there, but they're lost souls. They're lost. Some of them can be found, and some of them cannot be found. But understand that you, right, always keep your eyes on yourself to see what dimension you are going to. Understand that. So, make sure you take in that information, right? Apply that to your lifestyle, all right? Make sure you subscribe to my channel. As you subscribe, make sure you hit all on notification bell, right? And with that being said, make sure that you keep yourself in the greatest version of yourself. Make sure that you learn from the past things of yourself and not to repeat those same things within the present moment in order to override your future. Understand that, because when we get lost in our past selves, we can never see things from the present moment into the future self. Get yourself prepared. There's a great life for you. Only if you envision it. And if you can envision it, the envision of what you envision was nothing more than information implanted within your mind. Now I'm going to ask you a question. You've seen the vision. You have the information. Are you going to act upon it? If you don't act, you don't get to see that dimension activate. It all works hand in hand. I'm trying to tell you. You receive the information within the mind, within the pyramid. Once you have information, you now act. Once you act, the dimensions activate. If you never do those things, you never get to see a new reality. You'll be sitting there waiting. Like, where's my new reality? Well, do you have the information? Yes. Okay, have you been acting on the information? No. Well, if you don't act on it, then the dimension doesn't activate. You are the activator of that dimension. You are the one that created that dimension, that reality. So it now takes you to act upon it in order for it to activate. Understand that? So, control yourself. There's no need to control others because a lot of others are not even controlling themselves. Other entities are controlling them. So keep your focus on you and only you. And no matter what you do not focus on others. Because when you focus on others, you can lose your sight on yourself. All right? With that being said, this is your Ancestor General Y God. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Make sure that you hit all on notifications. And with that being said, stay in enlightenment with yourself. the outside world that exists on the outside of you technically has nothing to do with your reality that's within you. Make sure that you, in your existence, that you're projecting the inside world onto this outside world. With that being said, this is your Ancestor General White God signing over and out. Y'all have yourself a nice one.